What's up, guys? I'm Bobby.
I'm Brent.
And I'm Nick.
And you're watching The Vegan Cooking Show. And today,
we're gonna show you how to make this vegan pumpkin cheesecake.
oh my God, Brent. Next on
Now you know.
Ooh.
Bobby,
Brent,
what are we making?
well, you just said it. We're making this cheesecake that you brought to the table.
Why am I
here.
always so confused when we come back from the intro? I
don't
always
know.
forget what we're doing.
I don't know. We have to like remind ourselves.
But anyway, we are making something today, and it's a vegan pumpkin cheesecake.
Oh my God, pumpkin cheesecake. I love pumpkins.
You love pumpkins? Do you love cheesecakes?
I love cheesecakes.
Okay, well, you're in for a treat, my friend. But before we get into all that, we have a special guest here today.
Who the heck is this?
Who is this?
Jim Halpert looking dude.
Yeah.
Jim Halpert.
Halpert.
Well, I'm Nick. I'm
Hi,
a
Nick.
cheesecake aficionado, I'd
Oh
say.
yeah, that's
That's
right.
cool.
I make cheesecake every time we go to lunch.
And Nick has been on the show before, on not this show, but some of our other shows, the movie show.
Made a guest appearance on the Learning with Bobby and Brent.
You sure did.
Back in the super fast, I drank the rat
Do Nick.
pickles energy.
Do the Nick. Do the Nick.
You're becoming a gift.
Do the Nick. Do the Nick. Do the Nick. Do the Nick. This ain't your grandpappy's cheesecake, my friend. We're making a vegan cheesecake,
Oh,
so
here we go. This is gonna be great.
it's gonna be pretty cool. The basis of our cheesecake is actually gonna be largely cashews.
Oh, it's kind of like our mac and cheese.
Yeah, it turns out cashews are a really good cheese replacement.
Really?
Yeah, when you soak them and blend them and stuff, they give it that nice cheesy consistency.
Who
but
knew?
we're also going to be adding some pumpkin and stuff and all that to give it a little extra flair, a little something, some maple syrup, all kinds of good stuff. But before we go too crazy to talk about all this, maybe we should just tell everyone what they need to make it.
Let's do it.
Vanilla extract, cinnamon, olive oil, pumpkin pie mix, cashews, pecans or pecans, walnuts, coconut milk, lemon juice, maple syrup.
All right, guys.
Sorry.
Don't you dare, Bobby. I'm starting this segment.
I'm sorry. You never know who starts.
This is my recipe, sorta.
You're right, Brent. This is your recipe.
Yeah.
So-
Actually, I want to give a quick shout out to Minimalist Baker.
I love Minimalist Baker.
Yeah, this recipe is actually based off of that recipe. I've amended it a fair amount because I just, found some things that I prefer. But check her stuff out.
We've done a few Minimalist Baker stuff before. We've done the vegan meatballs.
Yeah, she does a lot of really cool vegan recipes. So check her out sometime. Maybe we'll put a link in the description if you want to check out her recipe for this. But this one is slightly different, but first thing we gotta do, guys, we need to boil our water so that we can soak our cashews, and then we're gonna prepare our crust. We wanna get that nice and hot, because that will help our cashews soften faster if we get the water boiling first. And then now, let's go ahead and measure out what we're gonna need to do our crust.
Okay.
So first thing we're gonna need is we're gonna need about a cup's worth of walnuts. And then we're gonna want about a half a cup or so of the pecans or pecans. How do you guys say it?
It's really context dependent. It's pecan pie, but butter pecan ice cream. I think those are.
Listen, if you say pecan sandy, it sounds normal, but if you say pecan sandy, that's wrong.
Yeah.
So, I think you're
So-
right.
Yeah, no, it's very.
It's all
I think it's
context-based.
What's up with, I almost like don't wanna say it because I feel like I'm saying it wrong both ways.
You should
Say
say both.
pecans.
No. Say pecan pecan.
Pecan-a-con.
Or you could say pecan.
Pecan-a-con.
Pecan.
McConaughey, Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew
Yes, there we go.
McConaughey. So we're gonna put our Matthew McConaughey's. All right.
So we
in
got
the-
this in our food processor. I'm gonna just pop this off so I can kind of shake it around a bit. That looks pretty good. And let's,
Lock it in place.
yeah,
there.
if I know how to. Let's
You
see.
had it.
I should have warned you guys I was about to start. All right, so that looks pretty good. We just need to get it down to a nice crumble as we got here. So let's pop that off.
Crumble.
Yeah, if I can figure out now how to unlock it.
Left.
Next, we're gonna add some maple syrup.
How much maple syrup?
Again, I'm not a big fan of measuring, so I kind of just do
Brent's
what
an
looks
eyeballer.
right.
Okay,
Brent's
okay,
a
okay.
watcher.
Now, when we post our ingredients, we'll show like what the recommended amounts are. But again, it's kind of up to your choosing. I kind of just
So what if we do that whole bottle? That's my choosing.
bottle full of bub.
Brent has made this before,
Yes.
so
I
you gotta
can,
trust his eyeballs.
and then we'll do a little bit of olive oil too, just a bit.
Brent, would you say that we consume too much olive oil between the two of us?
Probably. So let's grab a spatula or something of the like so we can stir this up,
Oh,
mix
this water
it
is
together.
boiling.
Oh yeah, and so Nick, if you wouldn't mind then, or Bobby, one of you guys,
Yeah,
measure
let's
out
some.
measure out a cup and a half of cashews, and then we're gonna pour that into the
I'll let Nick
water.
try it, 'cause
He's our guest. Let's get him,
Let's
put
see
him
if I
to work.
can measure. And then you just throw it in.
Dump it in.
Dump it right in there, my man.
Look at that.
Oh, that's
Cool.
beautiful. Beautiful cashews.
Now, Brent, are we gonna be stirring these cashews at all?
No,
Just
actually
let
we're
them
not. We're just gonna let it sit on there. I'm gonna let that get maybe up to a little bit more of a vigorous boil, and then we're gonna turn the heat off and let it sit for about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, something like that. All right, so our crust is ready, so we need to prepare our springform pan here by lining it with some wax paper, and then we need to put the crust onto that.
Let's get this.
What is this?
It's a springform pan,
It's
Bobby.
it's a cheesecake pan, dude.
Yeah, so we
It looks
use,
like an organ pipe tuner. Surprisingly.
so I don't know
I don't
what
know
that looks like.
But it
yeah.
looks like this.
Oh,
Okay.
cool. Well, there
If you want
go.
to your organ or make cheesecake, we found the pan for you.
Yeah, so basically what this does is it helps whatever you're baking stay in a certain shape. And so like once it's done, you know, cooking, or in this case, cooling, we're gonna springform up, pull it off, and then we're gonna have our cheesecake in its shape.
Wow, how
Yeah.
awesome is that?
Yeah, so it's a pretty convenient tool to have. So first thing we need to do is we need to rip off some wax paper to about the size of the bottom of our springform pan.
That's the one thing I haven't learned how to do yet.
Just rip wax
I
paper.
always screw it up. I'm always just like, oh, I got the wax paper, and then I rip off like, it ends up being like a 2x2 square somehow.
That works. And then we're gonna get our springform pan around that, and then let's clamp it in. Other way, Nick. Perfect.
Nice.
Look at
Then
that. Look at that.
I'm so excited about
Beautiful.
this.
Gorgeous. Next thing we need to do is we need to take our crust and kind of just plop it in, and then we're gonna spread out to cover the bottom. So if one of you boys want to do the honors,
I got this one.
we are our guests, so
Wow, this is.
You might have better time using the other side.
yeah, maybe. Or
Wait,
just like,
oh, you mean like this? Okay.
or just put some
what you're
elbow grease into it.
You know
man.
what? Okay, Brent. I see. Just throwing shade here.
Yeah, just like try a little harder, for God's sakes.
Yeah, seriously, you're like.
For once in your life, Nick, just try a little harder.
Okay, Brent, put a step.
All right, so our cashews are sufficiently, sophisticatedly, unanimously, they are all the least.
Municipality.
Yeah, they are soaked to death, and
We
we
killed
can go ahead and drain those, and we're gonna start blending all our other ingredients. So if you want to go ahead, Bobby, pour that out into our colander over
I
there.
got the colander all set up.
Here we
Yeah.
go. Follow me, cameraman.
So we'll go dump that out.
Oh, it smells like cashews.
Wow. Shocking. So next thing, let's go ahead. I'm gonna have Nick, you open up this can of pumpkin pie mix that we got here. Now, oh, we gotta do that? Are we gonna do that to him? It's in the drawer. One thing I do
I was
want.
gonna say you got my.
Rite of passage.
Oh
It is the
boy.
rite of passage.
Okay.
Okay, this is hilarious.
Before you try to open it though, I do want to talk about the fact that I got pumpkin pie mix for this. You could use pure pumpkin puree and add the spices yourself.
Okay.
One of the spices recipe calls for is pumpkin pie mix.
Okay.
And I couldn't find any because it's kind of out of season right now. So I went with the pumpkin pie mix because it already has those spices in it.
Well, that's
So
convenient.
that's an option if you're doing this out of season like we are. But
And listen, canned foods, it's really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
It's it's all there for you.
yeah, and this one's organic too, which is kind of nice. And not too many ingredients, just the pumpkin puree, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, cloves, and allspice, which is what's in the pumpkin pie
It's probably got a
spice
really-
mix anyway.
Probably got a really long shelf life, so.
Uh,
2019.
yeah, probably. It's probably good forever, which
Good
you
forever,
know,
yeah.
Good forever.
Okay.
Don't even read the expiration date. Just do it. Now, Nick, can he open it with the stupid can
you
opener?
Open the can.
Can I?
Now,
He.
Nice, good for you.
Oh, I think that's a record time.
No,
That's good for
So
you.
I'm gonna tell you, I was actually worried when you gave me the other can opener because I've never used a real can opener.
You never used a regular
I've
one before?
only used things that are very similar to this.
Wow. So we
Unreal.
can we get another? Can we have him try to use the other can?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Yeah, okay, go for
Okay,
it.
well, what do you want me to do?
All right, Nick.
Okay.
Rite of passage
So
part 2.
you just clamp it and then you turn. Okay, is it like that? Or is it the other way? Does it go like this?
Oh my God, Nick.
I'm.
He only knows how to use the weird one.
I know. Okay. No.
Wow.
Yes. No.
Nick, what are you doing?
I don't want to like destroy this thing.
No, you won't break it. Just
Is this right?
no.
So wrong. Is this
I'm
real
not helping
life?
you at all. You have to get this.
Is this real life?
How do-
My God.
How?
I'm like in
Like I see
awe.
how it like is supposed to.
Pressing mechanism. There you
Oh.
go.
There you go.
Oh wow.
This is so
There you
great.
go. Now you got it.
Isn't that
That
so...
took way too long. All right, so let's get back to it now that we
yeah.
finally have our
All right.
cans opened. I'm gonna do about half a can of our pumpkin puree into here.
What do you do with the rest of the can?
Yeah, I was
bro?
thinking that too. Do we just eat it with spoons?
You can make a second one or just eat it straight up. Yeah, it's pretty good just straight up, honestly.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and add our olive oil. We want 3 tablespoons. Now, technically this recipe calls for a whole lemon's worth of lemon juice.
Wow.
It's a very,
Just one lemon, right?
I don't know what that measurement actually equals out to, so I just do like
So we're gonna eyeball it again.
just a couple squirts.
Yeah.
That seems good to me.
Yeah.
I don't feel like this recipe needs a ton of lemon, honestly. So,
I don't think so.
my personal opinion on that one. So,
is this vanilla?
vanilla extracts. And again, with this
Oh.
one, I just do like a little splash.
Wow.
That's good. Now, for the maple syrup, it calls for
that's
about
good.
a half cup's worth. So maybe we should get an actual measuring cup for this one,
Okay.
or half a cup.
That looks good.
Pour that in here.
Wow. Oh,
And then,
that, like,
then we're
milky
gonna blend
goodness.
it.
And then we blend. Let's go. I'm gonna try pulse.
Do it.
3, 2, 1, blend! All right, I'm gonna say that's good. So let's go ahead. Woo! Take this.
Okay, so we just pour it all over.
Yeah, so let's
Oh,
get
boy.
our little blade
Do
off
we need
here.
a spatula so we can like smooth it out? with a
Yeah,
nice-
we want to smooth it out, and we also want to get like all this stuff out of here. So let's get all
Yeah,
this.
we want as much filling as possible.
So let's go ahead and pour this
Oh,
out onto here.
Looks like Dwight's shirt color.
Yes.
Oh my
Take
God.
I got my mustard shirt on today. Our pumpkin cheesecake is basically ready now to go in the freezer.
Woo!
So bear in mind with this recipe, we put the like prep time in the beginning of the episode, but you are gonna have to freeze this for a few hours before you can eat it.
Lucky for us, we have a magical freezer.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we
actually,
got a
it's
flash
a-
freezer, so ours will be ready in about 2 seconds.
yeah.
All right,
And
let's,
but for you at home, you're gonna want to stick this in your freezer for about 4 to 5 hours. And then we're gonna take it out maybe 10 minutes before we wanna eat it. All right, Bobby, so here we have our flash frozen special cheesecake for tasting.
Wow, that was fast. Yeah.
Now, this one was made to the same recipe that we did today, but I only had 2 size springform pans. So this one's a little bit thinner than the one we just made.
Okay.
So in case people are wondering, that's a really thin cheesecake. That's mostly just because this is a giant springform pan meant for a giant cheesecake. So
Yeah.
you'd probably want to double the recipe if you use this one, which I believe is a 10-inch pan.
Yeah.
The other one is an 8-inch pan.
So it looks bigger, appears to
So
be more
definitely.
cheesecakey.
So yeah, if you're making this at home on a 10-inch one, definitely double the recipe.
But hey, I like thin crust.
It's still gonna taste the same, so
Yeah.
we gotta taste it, Bobby.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we gotta eat it.
We haven't tasted it.
What if it's bad? People gotta know.
Point.
All right, well, I'm gonna give the cut here.
Yeah, you're gonna take the opening slice. I feel like I should go last because I did bring it in, so I want to get Nick's opinion on it as the cheesecake aficionado.
Yes.
How do we feel?
It's definitely an interesting, like it's not the same consistency as a cheesecake, but that's not a bad thing. I do like the crust a lot. The crust is really, really good. So I'd say I'm gonna go with an A on the. I'm not gonna quite go
That's
A
impressive,
plus.
that's impressive.
Not quite A plus, but definitely like. I think for me, one of the things that I liked about cheesecake was plain cheesecake.
Yep.
And so coming here with a pumpkin kind of thing, throws me off my game.
Yeah, it's a little different. Yeah, sure,
but,
sure.
it's
Understandable.
definitely a good dessert. Like
Okay.
any, comparable to definitely any kind of pumpkin pie kind of thing.
Cool. And yeah, I'm gonna go with Nick too. I'm gonna also say A. I know this is one of my favorite holiday
fools.
desserts. Maybe I will go A plus. I'm trying to think what reason do I have to not give it an A plus. I really don't have one, honestly. The only thing
You're
that's
short selling yourself.
yeah, I think I'm just like, for me, desserts sometimes can be a little like too sweet, a little overpowering, and this maybe borderline is on the almost too sweet side. But for like a holiday dessert, it's kind of like just in the
I
right
don't
spot.
know, Brent. I disagree.
Yeah.
I don't think it's too sweet. I think it's perfect.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because I've had cheesecake,
Mm-hmm.
and I think cheesecake is too sweet.
It is very rich, yeah.
It has a very, you can taste the nuts in a way that complements the sweetness, kind of like neutralizes it.
Okay, sure.
And the crust at the bottom really helps that.
And
too.
I will also say this also feels a lot lighter than a cheesecake. You know,
Yes.
It's been a long time since I've had a real, quote unquote, real cheesecake. But this definitely is a lot lighter.
Yes,
You know,
yeah, for sure.
like you have one piece of cheesecake and you're like down for the count for the rest of the
Yeah.
day. I feel like I can eat half of this and still be good to go.
I think definitely texture-wise, yeah, it's like Nick said, it's a little bit.
It almost has more of like
smooth.
It's got more almost like a cream
Yeah.
pie
Right,
consistency
I
a little
completely
bit.
agree with that, yeah.
You know,
Almost like a pumpkin pie.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
But man,
It's a little bit smoother than a pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie's got a little more firmness in it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this episode of The Cooking Show with Bobby and Brent.
And Nick.
And Nick, our special guest Nick. So don't forget to like, subscribe, check out our Patreon page. We have these aprons there. I've been Brent.
and I've been Bobby,
And I've been Nick.
and you're watching Cooking Learning Cooking Show
With Bobby and
combination.
Brent. Gonna finish my cake.